Hi, welcome to the Blueshirts corner. So the Rangers taking on the St. Louis Blues tonight. This should be a pretty good game. They're a tough team, so this is going to be a measuring stick game. It's like equivalent to playing the Washington Capitals like we did last week. So let's see what this team does versus a team that could really get this puck in the back of the net. When you got a top line with Alex Steen, Vladimir Tarasenko, and Yari Letna. David Backes is on the second line. Here's a funny one. They got Scott Gomez. Yeah, Scott Gomez. Like, is this guy ever gonna retire? It's just hysterical that this guy's still playing. But basically the big thing about this team is that Brian Elliott has been struggling, and they got this guy Jake Allen, and he's got a shutout streak so far for like a game and a half. It's basically like I think 165 minutes or something, and he's got a good record, like 7-3-0, and his save percentage is a 950, and then he's got a goal against average, which is a 1.53. And let's see what this guy is gonna do versus a top liner, Rick Nash, Derek Brassard, and Matt Zuccarello. So I'm really hoping to see that top line abused tonight. You know, I feel like Rick Nash is back. After seeing the way that top line played versus Carolina, I feel like we're looking at our at our top players producing right now. You know, let's break down the lineup though. Like, our first line is obviously Rick Nash with Derek Brassard and Matt Zuccarello. This line's incredible. Like, Zuccarello, this guy, he's got to be one of the best playmakers in the entire league. Like, the way that this guy finds these passing lanes, it's incredible. Like, I mean, like, I think because he's so short, like, his vision on the ice, like, he sees the passing lanes. Like, it's something that you would see with Martin St. Louis. But basically, Rick Nash, it looks like he's gonna be doing what he's supposed to be doing. Like, he's been aggressive. He's been doing all the little things, and it's good to see that Rick Nash got a goal the last game. And so I'm expecting to see this guy taking more shots on net, and maybe even standing in front of the net. Like when Rick Nash is right in front of the net, that's when he scores goals. You know, like, I don't want to see him taking shots from 15 feet out. Like, you're not going to score a goal that way. But the second line is the All-American line. We got JT Miller, centered by Derek Stepan and Chris Kreider over there on left wing. This is a line that is impressing me. Like, they could be the first line, but I'll be honest, with them being the second line, it's like a plus in a way. You know, I feel like they're gonna do work. They really are. Like, JT Miller, like, he's really coming to his own, and he's becoming one of my favorite players. Like, his hustle and the way that this guy just forechecks, and he's a grinder. And you got Chris Kreider's speed. Let's hope he could get going, because he hasn't produced the way he's supposed to be producing. And Derek Stepan, he's got assists. I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I honestly think that he just needs to work on getting Chris Kreider going, in a sense. But our third line is Oscar Lindberg, centered by Kevin Hayes, and then you got Victor Stahlberg there. Like, Stahlberg, of course, we all know this guy's got speed. And Lindbergh is basically on his way to winning Rookie of the Year if he keeps it up. And Kevin Hayes in his sophomore year has been incredible, phenomenal. I mean, there's too many things to describe this guy. He's just on a third line. It's almost like this other team is just gonna get abused. Like, he doesn't even need to be in the third line. He's too good to be on the third line there. So when he's playing versus lower competition, it's like he's just gonna rip through this league. Our fourth line, we got Emerson Edelman. Yeah, Dominic Moore, still a healthy scratch. It's kind of killing me in a sense. I mean, this fourth line, they were very good. Don't get me wrong, they were really good. But I'm missing Dominic Moore. I really am. This guy. Like, I don't know how he's just sitting out like this. Like, this is like a first since he came to the Rangers. Since he came back to the Rangers, he was drafted by them. But basically, Jared Stoll is the center on that fourth line, and Jasper Fast is over there on right wing. And like basically the reasoning from Vigneault about this this lineup and not having more in there is basically he's saying, as I quote, they were strong on the puck, strong on the forecheck, and strong on the back check. Their numbers as far have in the offensive zone, the opportunities were good. It's not an easy decision, and it's not an easy conversation to have with a guy like Moore. But I feel tonight I wanted to go with the same forwards. Look, I understand the reasoning there. Like in a way, I feel like Dominic Moore, like he's just like he's still practicing there. He is a healthy scratch, and so is Dylan McIlrath. But he's still there after practice, taking shots, practicing. Like he's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a healthy scratch. So it's not like this guy is just rotting away in the press box. So once you see Moore back, you're gonna see a guy that's just hungry to play. So I just can't wait for him to get back. And once he's back, you're gonna see a Dominic Moore that's refreshed. Okay, so it's not like we're really just making this guy rot away and he's gonna come back and have to shake the rust off. Like, the guy's been in the league for years. He knows the deal. This is only like testing the water right now. This is only to see how deep this team is. Because come playoff time, there's no way you don't have Dominic Moore in there. There's no way. So let's break down the defense though. We got Ryan McDonough, Dan Girardi together, for the top pairing there, and then we have Mark Stahl and Dan Boyle for the second pairing. Oh man, I love Kevin Klein with Mark Stahl, but I love him even more when he plays with Keith Yandle in the third pairing there. As Keith Yandle and Kevin Klein are there for the third pairing, I'll be honest, that them for a third pairing, it's kind of it's almost it's not fair to other teams, because like our defense, it's like these are top defensemen. I mean, we're looking at guys that could be the first pairing on a different team. So we're just stacked defensively, and it's good news. Dan Boyle has been struggling, and I really want to see what he does versus the St. Louis Blues, because like Dan Boyle, like he's used to playing in the Western Conference there, and so to see him play versus the St. Louis Blues, it looks like it's going to be a good choice to go with him over McIlrath, even though McIlrath is the tougher defenseman, and this is a pretty heavy team, the St. Louis Blues. But I think Dan Boyle offensively, he as an offensive defenseman, it's good to have him in there, because he knows this team better than McIlrath would. Of course, Henrik Lundqvist in that, there's no doubt about it. Henrik Lundqvist has been playing out of his mind, and let's see just how good he could play versus a team like the St. Louis Blues. Because I'll be honest, we come away with a win tonight. You're looking at the top of the food chain, literally. Like, this team is just working. All four lines are rolling right now. All the defense are basically on top of their game, and Lundqvist is beyond Lundqvist a couple of years ago. Like, this guy looks like he jumped in a DeLorean, literally like just came back, and he's got something to prove. So the big test tonight though is to see how we could stop a team that features Vladimir Tarasenko, because Tarasenko is literally like I honestly think he could be thrown into the conversation of Ovechkin. Like, he really is one of those top guys in the league. And Alex Steen's another one that you gotta be careful with. You really do. Their defense is also another thing. I honestly think that Jake Beemister is one of those like he's one of those good one-on-one defensemen. Like, they talk about this guy in a sense like he's Nicholas Lindstrom. You can't obviously you can't compare the two, but he shows flashes of Lindstrom. So this is a big test for our top line. But also Rick Nash, that's a big test for them right there. Rick Nash he's been an elite player since the day he came into the league. We're talking a first-round draft pick, like a first overall draft pick. So you know that Rick Nash just, when he gets going, he's gone. But let's just see what we do tonight. And this is just going to be a big test. Anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. Remember, let's go Rangers.